South Carolina Weather Watchers. I am the host for South Carolina Weather, Jason Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening. Now, looking at the radar right now, as you can see, we do have no precipitation falling inside the state of South Carolina right now. We are doing great. But if we move our way out and we go to the MRMS, we have some pretty not so great things going on inside the entire United States. We may be good, North Carolina, the Carolinas may be good right now. Florida is getting some isolated downpours, storms, all of the above pretty much for Florida. Obviously, this heat wave going on still up here inside the Northeast, getting really hot up there, temperatures up in the 100s. Severe weather up there in Canada with some downpours going through the Midwest right now. This north central U.S. getting some showers and downpours. The central U.S. getting some showers and downpours. The south central U.S. is getting a tropical storm right now. So that's not really the best thing. And also they're under a tornado watch as well. Not only the coast is under a tornado watch and a tropical storm warning, while the inland regions are just under a tornado watch, which is still could be pretty much as dangerous if you could consider it. A tornado watch could be just as important as a tropical storm warning. So whichever way you want to take it, we do have some storms popping up here in Montana, and even in the Pacific Northwest, we do have some downpours. Even the Rockies is seeing some action, as well as New Mexico also seeing some action as well. Also have tornado warnings down here inside Texas as well. Just another thing that I want to show. Here's their tropical storm going on right now. I just wanted to show the radar, as there's two things for some reason. But here's just one way how you can look at it. Right now you can see there goes the rain bands moving on, but if you look at the velocity, right now winds 30, 40 miles per hour moving in, still inside of pretty much this part of Texas right now, still getting those high winds, 30 to 40 miles per hour, and obviously with the tornado warning right over here, that is radar indicated. Again, nothing's going on with that. So let's move our way back and let's talk about cloud cover. So cloud cover right now, we do have some cloud cover over there to our west inside of the upstate of South Carolina. Again, just scattered cloud cover as we move into the later portions of tonight. We do also have some isolated low clouds, maybe even some fog in some places just to the northeast of Columbia and the north of Florence as well. But nothing else in terms of cloud cover. If you look at the cloud cover total percentage for the next 18 hours, you can see that cloud cover will continue to move into the coastal region, especially near the Charleston regions, and as well as up there inside the upstate, we have huge stratus clouds up there, pretty much covering the entire upstate. Maybe some peaks in some spots, but it's really just going to be cloud cover over there. We also do have some cloud cover that continues through, and this cloud cover kind of to like the east is going to push this cloud cover to the west out. We've been talking about that for the past couple of days, about how this cloud cover to the east is going to push this cloud cover to the west out. And the more dominant cloud cover will be down here towards the coast as that low pressure moves in, which we will talk about because we do have some updated probabilities on it. And some people are thinking of a surprise. Again, I'll talk about that at the end when we talk about the tropics. But here is our current temperature: 73 in Greenville, 77 in Columbia and Charleston, as well as 79 in Augusta, 77 in Savannah and Myrtle Beach, 75 in Sumter, Florence, and 75 in Anderson. Here is our low temperatures for tonight. Around 69 in Columbia, 67 in Anderson, 68 Greenville, 67 Spartanburg, 66 Rock Hill, 72 Myrtle Beach, 76 Charleston, 74 Hilton Head Island, and 65 in Walterboro. And here is our precipitation rates for the next 24 or so hours. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I do not agree with this at all. The National Weather Service of Columbia put this map out, and they say that no precipitation is expected over the next 24 hours. I don't agree with this at all, because even if I go to the 23Z, which just was updated at 8 o'clock, and I push this forward, there's not really point. I'll talk about why in a second. There's not really a point to show the timing of these because it's going to be sporadic. You can see here, they're pretty much forecasting that maybe around a good tenth to maybe even a quarter of an inch of rain could fall, going pretty much in this entire region going from Allendale all the way over to Beaufort, and pretty much this entire region right here, Charleston County, Colleton County, Dorchester, Berkeley, even going into Beaufort counties, Jasper counties, all of these counties over here, I think have the chance to receive some sorts of precipitation that is coming in from the Atlantic. Atlantic moisture is moving into the coast, and that's what's happening. Mainly tropical moisture, obviously. But I'll talk about why. And we had a shower today go by my house, and it was very short-lived. It only lasted around like 10 minutes. It was nothing really that was really day stopping you had to stop for, and that's what all these showers are going to do. They're going to be very fast moving. They're only going to last about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're just not going to be too much of a hassle. So honestly, if you have any plans, I mean, I wouldn't really cancel them, because these again are going to be fast moving. There could be some isolated spots that see some more moderate precipitation than others, but again, fast moving. They'll be out of your hair in around 10, at the max like 15 minutes, at the minimum probably like 5 minutes. So again, if you do get hit with the shower, it's not going to be a lot. By the way, it was like around 207 inches of rain, so that's 0.02 inches of rain that fell at my house today. So let's go and talk about the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Yes, this is also pretty important as well. There's nothing for today, but tomorrow off the coast of South Carolina, we do have a chance. Very weird graphics. I don't know what's going on over here, but off the coast of South Carolina, we could see some thunderstorms that pop up. Not really worried about them moving inland. And again, this is another reason why I don't really think that the National Weather Service of Columbia thing is right, just because if thunderstorms are possible, and if thunderstorms pop up off the coast, they're not really going to move inland. As soon as they're going to get in the waters, they're going to intensify, but as soon as they get close to land, or even get on land, they're just going to rapidly de-intensify. So they're not going to last too long, which is why once they get to like the inland regions, they just dissipate, because they're just not. They're really reliant on that moisture out there in the Atlantic, that once they get over, they're kind of like hurricanes. They get over land and they absolutely just die pretty much. And then here's the day 3 categorical outlook. You can see here, again, this time it moves kind of a bit more inland, so maybe some more instability is out there for those showers to move closer to the inland region, like pretty much all of the low country of South Carolina is inside this. Parts of Georgetown County and coastal Horry counties are inside of this TSTM. Again, just regular garden variety thunderstorms are possible going into your Friday. Now let's move on and talk about the tropics. No excessive rainfall is expected for South Carolina. But here we go. Here's the tropical storm Alberto. It's still here. You still have those rains moving in, and you still have the winds moving in. Tropical storm force winds possible going all the way down into portions of southern Texas as well. Here's just, arrival time of wind if you want to see it. Here's the wind speed probability, tropical storm force wind speed probabilities. Here's peak storm surge. That's also a very, very important thing to talk about. Here's just more surface level winds. Here's the yellow is tropical storm force, blue is tropical storm warning. So that's pretty much that. And tropical storm Alberto is still out there, and it's not gonna last too much longer. I think it will probably be out of our hair as we get into like Thursday, probably late Thursday, early Friday. I think that it will try to pretty much just not really be a thing anymore. So, we'll see what happens going through there. But this is the thing that I want to talk about the most. And, you also may see this as well, this yellow thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But over here, the disturbance 30% chance of cyclone development over the next 70 days, it has increased. Yesterday it was a 10-20, now it's a 30-30. So a small area of low pressure has formed about 300 miles east of the northwestern Bahamas this evening with disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity, while environmental conditions are only marginally conducive due to nearby dry air. Further development of the system is possible while the low moves west northwestward and approaches the northeastern coast of Florida or Georgia early on Friday. So now they've kind of got rid of the southeast coast and now are pointing out for Florida and Georgia now at this point. So it will bring rain to South Carolina. That's for sure a bet. There's no doubt in my mind. We will get rain from the system, and this could actually be aiding from that Atlantic moisture already, bringing us rain. But in terms of like winds and all that kind of stuff, it's already been breezy through today. And that's pretty much, it's been breezy throughout most of the southern United States today. Pretty much, I'd say like the entire southeast, the deep south, the south central U.S., it's been breezy pretty much for all of us all day, pretty much today. Yesterday it was pretty breezy as well. And again, not really too much of a threat in terms of like tropical storm force, but still a threat in terms of rain, maybe some thunderstorms as well. And this could bring thunderstorms. You saw Friday we are under that TSTM for just your regular garden variety thunderstorms. It's because of this system right here that's going to move towards Florida and Georgia. The outer bands will bring us thunderstorms as well. So we'll see what happens, and we will continue to monitor. And then we have this one down here, disturbance 2, has a 0% chance of forming in the next 48 hours and a 40% chance for the next 7 days. And that's not because of the tropical storm Alberto, but it's actually because of another low pressure that is going to form as we continue and go through the next 7 days. Pretty much as a broad area of low pressure is forecasted to form over the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico on Friday. Environmental conditions appear to be conducive for gradual development thereafter, and this system could be a tropical depression over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico this weekend, while it moves slowly west-northwestern or northwestward. Now, this one, I think, could potentially be a bit stronger than Alberto, and honestly, I do have a good feeling that this one could actually try to become another tropical storm, if not a low-end hurricane. That's just preliminary. Again, when that's not 100% going to happen. If it does, that'd be a really good prediction for me. But I do think that it does have the chance to be a strong tropical storm, or maybe even a weak hurricane and go through the same areas again, southern Texas. Again, like Mexico again. I think Mexico again would get the more impactful piece of it. So we'll continue to monitor that as well. Nothing for the Eastern Pacific or the Central Pacific either. So now let's go on and talk about the future. So moving on to tropicaltidbits.com, we go. Move on to the southeast. Get my pen out and move the screen over so y'all can see it. All right, here we go. So there goes our system. Over here, there goes our system over here that we're monitoring. There's Tropical Storm Alberto over there, and as you push this forward, you can see there goes this low pressure that we're monitoring. There it is, low pressure. That's a bit too big. Low pressure right here, and then the outer bands, mainly this portion of the storm, will move into South Carolina, and that will bring us some thunderstorm development. And I do think, again, that it won't be anything big, but just, just like your regular thunderstorm that you would see from any type of just regular system. But moving this forward some more, again, once that moves on, it's going to dissipate really fast. And then we're just going to get some more Atlantic moisture that may actually move this time a bit more inland, even towards the upstate regions. And there goes this low pressure down here that I was watching, or down here on the bottom left of your screen. Moving this forward some more. We may have to watch out for some thunderstorms and some heavy thunderstorms as well, even as we go into June the 25th, which is not even too long from now. Next week, Tuesday, I do think that we could have some pretty big storms that day, potentially. So we'll see what happens through there. And there goes the low pressure that we were talking about. There it is. That's going to move in again. And then after that, pretty much everything else, you just isolated thunderstorms. Again, nothing really in terms of hurricanes or tropical storms or anything like that. Everything else is just coming in from the west, just our regular systems and all that kind of stuff. Maybe some severe weather here as well. I'm looking on July the 2nd. Some severe weather maybe for the upstate of South Carolina as well. And other than that, that's all that I see in terms of all that. So we're going to keep that in mind as well. Another thing that you also can look at, if you want to, you can look at like the wave period as well. You can look at pretty much what the waves are doing, and this is why we had a rip current event today, because you can see the greens out here, and it was mainly because of the low pressure out there right now that we're seeing those rip currents against the coastline. But it's, again, just don't, if you don't feel safe going out there in those rip currents, especially because there's a high risk of them, I'd recommend not doing them, not going out to the ocean at all. You can definitely see down here in Texas, so very, very strong rip currents going through there, and storm surge as well. But let's go and talk to the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And here is the audience chat. We only have a couple of only have 2 chats today, so not a lot. Mr. Anthony says, good evening to you. Cousin Cheryl says, good evening, weatherman. The weather was kind of hot today, but not as hot as yesterday, so keep what you're doing. I want you to enjoy the summer number 10. Love you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that report as well. I'm pretty sure you're up there in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, yeah, again, very hot inside the Northeast. We were talking about that earlier, and we talked about that pretty much every single day. It's still going to be hot up there. Probably record-breaking temperatures as well, because it usually does not get up to 100 up there inside the Northeast very often. Very, very unlikely that something like that would happen. So, let's go down here and talk about our San Antonio and Raleigh, North Carolina forecast, and then we are going to head out if we have no other questions. So we're going to go to the 18Z, and we're going to talk about them. Move my temperature map up. And moving this forward as, okay. It's not negative 459 degrees. I don't know why that's like that. But anyways, yeah, I don't think that that's supposed to be like that. Oh, there we go. All right. So just caught a glitch right there. Negative 459 degrees in Texas, apparently. But going into tonight, low temperatures around 74 in San Antonio, and then tomorrow, high temperatures around 87. And as you go into tomorrow night, lows around 74. And then around 2 o'clock on Friday, it will be around 83. And then let's go over to Raleigh and talk about that. We talk about temperatures up there. Go to up here. All right, so low temperatures in Raleigh for tonight will be around 70, seems like 68, somewhere around there. High temperatures around 80, 90, somewhere around there. And as you get into tomorrow night, low temperatures around 67. And around 2 o'clock, it'll actually be 91. So it will be hotter, actually, inside of South Carolina and North Carolina than it might be in Texas and Louisiana. So that might be a not once in a lifetime, but a once in a week, once in a month thing that we see. So moving on, let's talk about precipitation. Obviously, San Antonio, y'all are going to receive y'all's precipitation. It's pretty much obvious now. with a whole tropical storm just to your southeast, you will get precipitation. That's pretty much a given. Yeah, you can see it's probably still going as we speak right now. Not under the tornado watch though. And honestly, I think you're still under a 2% risk of tornadoes, if I'm not mistaken. I've not checked it yet, so we'll see when we talk about the severe weather. But once all that precipitation is gone tonight, you may see relief tomorrow morning. No rain hopefully for tomorrow morning for y'all. But then as you get into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, more thunderstorms will push through. And then as you get into tomorrow night, nothing seems to really happen. Maybe just a couple of showers passing through, and then maybe even some more showers just to your west as well at around 2 o'clock. And for Raleigh, up here, move my way up here. Yeah, there goes our precipitation down there in South Carolina, but in Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm not sure if no precipitation will really be expected up there inside Raleigh, so you're good up there. Now let's go and let's talk about the severe weather. So here you have our severe weather outlooks, and let's move over here to San Antonio. You can see that you actually still are under that marginal risk. So still are under a 2% risk of tornadoes for tonight, because apparently they still think that you have that chance to be in a tornado threat for tonight. Nothing for tomorrow or for Friday, and nothing for days 4 through 8. Moving on and talking about the excessive rainfall. That would be interesting to see. Nothing, well, yes, obviously something for San Antonio, but you're only under a marginal risk. Tomorrow, if I can, yeah, you're still under a marginal risk again for tomorrow. And then for day 3, nothing seems to be for day 3. Nothing for day 4. Hopefully, yeah, nothing for day 4. And then nothing for day 5. So you're good in terms of excessive rainfall after tomorrow in San Antonio. So that's pretty much all that I have. I just see a hi just inside the chat. Hello. And then that's pretty much it. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the forecast for tonight. We will have some pretty interesting information going into pretty much this weekend, as we could see some probably hottest temperatures that we've seen all year next week, especially inside of the low country of South Carolina. I'm watching for that. Maybe some heat advisories may be needed for next week. We'll see what happens. High humidity, high temperatures, that will cause some pretty high feel-like temperatures for next week. And then obviously with this low pressure right there just to the south of us, south and east, bringing some breezy conditions, 20-25 miles per hour, maybe even some thunderstorms as well on Friday, and pretty much for like the days coming up to it as well. So we'll see what happens. Everyone have a fantastic Wednesday. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button as well if you have not already. And also make sure you guys hit the share button, as we are at 121 subscribers still. So let's go and get that like button up. Remember, we are at a subscriber goal of 200. And we will hopefully get to 200 by the end of August. That is my goal. The end of August, get to 200 subscribers. So we'll see what happens then. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night, and I'll be back tomorrow morning.